In a village where the sky was often the color of old spoons, there lived a girl named Mora. Mora carried feelings the way others carried stones in their pockets, heavy and hard to put down. When she was angry, hot, prickly threads spun from her heart, tying her up in knots. When she was sad, heavy, wet blue threads pooled at her feet, making it hard to move. She didn't know how to let them go. The other villagers saw the trailing threads and frowned. "Tidy up your feelings, Mora," they'd say. So she tried to stuff them away, but they always spilled out, messier than before. One day, the threads grew so thick she couldn't see. She ran to the edge of the world, where the wild woods began, and cried silver threads of loneliness into a still, dark pond. From the woods came a person, so quiet they seemed part of the air. This was the weaver of whispers. They said nothing, only sat beside Mora and watched the tangled mess with gentle eyes. Then the weaver did a strange thing. They reached out and took the end of a fiery, angry thread, not to pull it away, but to hold it, to feel its heat. "This one is strong," the weaver whispered, their voice like leaves touching. "It says, this is not fair. It guards your heart." And they began to wind the thread, not to discard it, but to keep it. When all the threads were wound, the weaver set up a tiny loom. "Now," they said, "we listen for the pattern. What do these feelings want to become?" When all the threads were wound, the weaver set up a tiny loom. "Now," they said, "we listen for the pattern. What do these feelings want to become?" Hesitantly, Mora picked up the shuttle of anger. She felt its protective fire. She wove it in a strong, straight line. Next, she took the deep blue sadness. She wove it in soft waves next to the red, letting it cool and soothe the fire. Silver fear became a border, a gentle warning. Gray loneliness became a soft, cloudy background. She wove until her hands were still and her heart was quiet. When she was done, she held a square of cloth. It was not a picture of a thing, but a picture of a feeling that had been heard and had finally found rest. Mora walked back to the village, her tapestry a soft weight on her shoulder. She saw a boy with a scribble of frustrated green threads around his fists. She sat beside him. She didn't tell him to tidy up. She simply said, "Tell me about this one." And she listened, for she had learned the most magic secret. A feeling, when heard, stops being a knot. It becomes a thread, and any thread can be woven into something you can carry without it carrying you. The end.